Amazing, tremendous typero shitero des. I should probably close my door for audio bouncing reasons. I got my gamer subs, I had my protein shake, I had my walkies, washed my face, everything is good to go. I believe we are in the correct categories across our various streaming platforms. Excellent. Excellent. I'm going to punish everybody with ads immediately. Das Hedgehog, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Hello, Troper. How are you doing today? You having a good time? Oh, gosh. I got close the door. First, but I'm second. Welcome to the stream, Oliver. Yeah, Platypus, we were gonna be here even earlier, and then I realized that I hadn't eaten breakfast yet, and then that was pretty important to not crashing out in the middle of stream. And Tario, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub. You won't punish me with ads. I'm immune for the 8th month in a row. Welcome back to the dog home, my friend. Or I guess Platypus, it's kind of like... I called it breakfast just because it was the first serious meal I had today. The way my days go right now is I get up around 8 or 8:30, and then I slam a protein shake and like a banana or something, and then I go work out. And then I come home and I get ready for stream or try to film something before stream, and then I eat my first real sizable meal. But what I'm saying is, like, we can call the protein shake and banana breakfast because it's still like, it's like 400 calories and it's carbohydrates and protein. So it's not nothing, right? I'm not having like one cashew and then heading out to the gym. So if we wanted to get pedantic about it, it's going okay, no legs. How are you doing? White Bread, thank you for that custom card review to kick off the stream. Also, Time KT wants to know, spoiler season starts tomorrow. How interested are you in Final Fantasy? I am definitionally interested in the Final Fantasy set because it's going to be huge, which means it's going to be very big for content, and it will probably dominate a ton of like the roasts I do, a ton of the like yapping I do, maybe even some of the skits I do. I never played that much Final Fantasy. All I know is Cloud looks really cool. There are a lot of Tifa cosplayers in the world, and that is about where my understanding of Final Fantasy ends. The Orzhov Adventure dude seems interesting. I will desist from talking too much about spoilers in this stream. I don't think he's very interesting as a build around. I think he is I think he's a useful piece in the 99 of a different deck. I don't think he's a very interesting commander. All right, let's look at Whitebread's card. Let me close this overlay. Alela and Eris. A 6-mana Grixis 4/4 that costs 1 less for each different mana value among instant and sorceries in your graveyard. It has flying and prowess. Whenever you cast your first spell during an opponent's turn, make a 4/4... Oh, what? No. Where's the Vine Boom? Whenever you cast your first spell during an opponent's turn, make a 4/4 black and red fairy dragon creature token with flying and prowess, then go to creature and draw a card. Whitebread, sometimes your bait is believable. Not today, but sometimes your bait is believable. Do you mean to tell me if I hit otherworldly gaze and just dump some shit into my graveyard, if Scryfall wanted to fucking cooperate with the stream today, which it doesn't, but if I surveilled 3 or milled into my graveyard, I could make this motherfucker a 3/3, and then... Wow, Scryfall sucks, actually. Okay, fine, Scryfall. Fine, Scryfall, we don't need you. We have Google image search. And then I can opt into getting an extra card, a dragon, and goad something? Please. Not even a little bit. This magic card is from 2030. Oh my god, true. Gataxian Probe, too. Scryfall supports me and will not show us how broken I made a card. Yeah, this is... I can't even think of a Rule Zero conversation you could have, or like how broken... I think this is what players who hate combos would run for CEDH. Like if you locked a bunch of children in a lab and they were all children who thought combo players were bad people, and they had to begin doing their own game design to figure out what CEDH commanders were like, this is probably what it would be. Make them 1/1s instead of 4/4s would make it better, perhaps. Oh, you're trying to make this playable at all? I thought you were just goofing us. No matter what you make the stat line... Oh my god, you gave the 4/4s prowess too? You... Okay. No matter what you make the stat lines, having every first spell on an opponent's turn give you a body, that's already tremendously good. That's already a very good thing. Like, if we look at... So, like, you know, when they make commander cards that combine multiple commanders, it's supposed to combine the flavor of both commanders, not literally be as good as two commanders together. Do we have that? Do we have that tied away? Because that's what we have to tie away first. So making a body off a spell is good by itself. Drawing a card off of... Alright, you dumbass website. Drawing a card off of casting a spell is already good. I do not believe these two things can coexist with a cost reduction on the card. These are three extremely strong things that exist on this card. A way to get around commander text, very good. A way to replace spells you are running in a control shell, very good. A way to make a board state in a tempo deck, very good. You cannot have all three of those things. You must totally remove at least one of those pillars for this to even approach reasonable. Make them 1/1s, forget the reduction, make it a 6, keep it at 6 mana. Yes, I think if this were 6 mana, then that is the type of crazy shit that we begin to expect out of a 6 mana card. Alright, and then Troper hit me with that personal question. And then we can get into some goddamn dungeoning. Oh, right above it in Dear Malt. Dear Malthound, did we ever get an explanation of why that one guy in the inheritance cycle turned himself into a nuclear weapon, or how the elves knew what radiation was enough to have a spell to stop the damage from it? Well, first of all, I kind of thought the big point of that spell was that they super did not stop the damage from it. Like, that whole area was crazy fucked up. And most of the places that were kept safe because they were behind a thick enough wall that it would have stopped real-world radiation. So I take issue with the second half of that sentence just on the face of it. For the first half on why... I don't think they elaborated on it greatly, but it seemed very clear that that was just last-ditch effort to kill Galbatorix. It didn't seem like a particularly deep plan. It was just like, well, nothing else we've tried has worked against this guy. What if my entire body was dynamite? Bro watched like My Hero Academia and then ran into battle. So yeah, I don't think we got an explanation because I don't think we needed one because the situation was never very deep or inexplicable to begin with. I mean, I think it's less of like, surely this will kill, and more of, I have to fight him. I am morally obligated to fight this man. Everything I have tried to fight him so far has failed. If everything fails, I'm not about to submit to him, so I may as well do this, and either I am successful or the people who fight him after me know one more thing that doesn't work. Right? Bro didn't go in with a plan. Bro went in with a moral compulsion to throw hands with this man, whether or not he was going to be successful. Just like you will when I chuck you into the goddamn Warrens to fight these fucking pigs. Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 50-bit cheer. Every time I reread The Inheritance Cycle, I'm absolutely baffled by how a kid wrote that shit. I am too, until I read any scene that has anything approaching sexual tension. I say that with so much love for Paolini. Tremendous author, tremendous series. The illusion of maturity is instantly shattered the moment boobies enter the narrative frame. Then you're like, oh yes, no, a 15-year-old did write this actually. Okay, so what do we need to get stuff going? We need a few more deeds. Maybe I can turn my crests into deeds. Hell yeah. How many do I need? I need 5? Yeah, let's turn 15 crests into deeds. Darkest Dungeon music is now on as a special treat to you, Troper. And then we're basically out of shit. We also need to get the guild hall up so we can train people. So we need, oh, now we need 1 million crests. Okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, Salty Atlas is about to fucking fall over and die. God. What do you mean? What do you only do? Oh, you fucking, you goddamn embarrassment. Oh, okay. All right, fine. You just miss a week. You just miss a week. Swordswoman Elf GF is a flat tire on the car that is Paolini's writing. Yeah, I mean, what I will say about it in genuine kindness is I think a lot of stories would be better if authors took a section they did not have confidence in their ability to do justice and just totally refused to touch it seriously in the same way that Paolini did with the Swordswoman Elf GF in the Aragon stories. When I went back and reread the stories as an adult, it seemed less like an arc handled badly and more like an arc where every time young Christopher sat down to sketch something in his little book, he went, I quite think I'm going to fuck this up. What if I did another battle scene instead? Yes. Yes, I think another battle scene will do quite nicely. And he just did that 1,800 times. And I think that's better for the story. Like, I think it's better that he did it that way than trying really hard to force something that either he didn't feel comfortable doing as an author or didn't think was going to be done well. For my next custom card, do you want a new adaptation that is my first non-legend, or would you like to see what I come up with if I tackle it from an angle bereft of flavor and lore? Yeah, try to do flavorless. Try to feed me a fucking saltine, Alec. Alright, I don't give a fuck about Virtue Chance. Sun Cloak seems pretty good for defense. Oh, we could get a hairpin that's actually usable by a Hellion, because we're going to be doing High Torch. But we have to go into the Warrens. Never mind. Ugh. Never mind, we don't have to go into the Warrens if all of the Warrens quest rewards fucking suck. My god. Fucking embarrassing. So Shadow Walker probably won't do that, but Zelda will. We cannot send Atlas because they're about to have a goddamn heart attack. Oh, we actually don't have the people to do a level 3 mission. I think we have to do a tryout mission. So that's going to be Eris, Sauce God, Moth Girl the Third, and Heart Pirate Ali. D-Man, we don't really have any slots open. Pissed because tariffs are holding my fursuit hostage. This is Donald Trump's America. My god. Oh god, I weep for you. I weep for you. Yeah, so we'll run this. Do we give you guys any trinkets? Probably not, but I'll try it. I'm not giving you a goddamn sun cloak. No, you know what? You all can earn your you all can earn your trinkets. You all can earn your goddamn trinkets. Defender's seal is whatever. Yeah, we'll do this such that if the occultist survives, they have a nice little item. I'll give you 1 torch. This is an apprentice mission. Yeah, you get 1 torch. Good luck. So we had Moth Girl, we had Heart Pirate, we had Eris time. Who the fuck was the last person I sent in? Oh, and Sauce God. All right, prediction has been put out. Captain Britog, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend.
I knew all these paths once. Now they're
Hello, Mayas. Okay, big scout to start. Let's get the suit jacket on. It's business time. No more playing around. We gotta make this. We gotta make this shit happen. That's their fault, honestly. Their fault for walking into that. Okay, bro failed to find the obvious hidden treasure. I don't know who gave them a shovel, but good hustle, I guess. Dirty, thank you for the 6 months in a row. Oh, thank you for subscribing for 6 months in advance at Tier 1, my friend. Happy pre-anniversary. Welcome back to the dog home. Big scouts. Okay, beautiful. So we have at least 1 fight. I will allow them to burn their 1 torch before the 1 fight to give them the best chance of success. Oh my god, these motherfuckers got a 2nd torch. Okay. They just might make it out of here. Yeah, Helios, we'll run that after this first mission. Alright, we get to surprise all the dogs. That's pretty good. How much health do they have? Die. Jesus Christ. No. How much? Plus 40% damage mod. Couldn't hit for 10. Couldn't hit for 10 with plus 40%. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. They're all gonna die. They're all gonna fucking die.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Alright, at least Eris time can do something right. I'm sorry, boss, it's my first day. That's when you should be doing the best. When you have not been worn down by the machinery of the corporation. That is when you should be fucking bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, catgirl ears perky. You should be ready to go day one. Day one, you haven't been getting woken up at 1 a.m. for group karaoke for 3 months, like DMC has. Man, shut your ass up. Legitimately incredible ability. At least Eris time is good. Legitimately incredible ability to just never deal lethal to anybody. There we go. I might as well have burned that 1,000 points, huh? Potentially. Okay. Allie got a good heal off on herself. I'm gonna heal Allie even more because she's fucking bleeding.
Back to the pit.
Straight up, I'm just gonna start the bounty hunter or the grave robber in front so that she can just fade back at the beginning of every fight.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
Thank you, Ontario. The screen is still green. I think you sound crazy, Nutricider. Wow, that's crazy. How about you don't fucking get hungry? How about you eat before coming into work? Lazy ass. Okay, good. Poisonous sap. We like to see that. Good stuff, good stuff. Let me investigate. Gets new people. New people. Wow. Truly, truly embarrassing.
An indefatigable purpose.
It's good to be back on a tryout mission, you guys. It's good to be back on a tryout. One bad thing happens to you and you become abusive. Thank you.
More destructive than 100 cannons.
Good job, team. Alright, so Moth Girl is definitely not surviving. We got surprised. Legitimately embarrassing. Legitimately embarrassing. I am taking a break from the game as I crashed out after losing 3 level 6s in the final dungeon. Horrific. I'm sorry if you're a lost nut, and I'm sorry you aren't as good a CEO as I am. I only lose worthless characters as we are right now. Alright, so Moth Girl's gonna have a heart attack. And punch Allie in the face, I guess. Do your best. Eris might be worth salvaging. Eris has been performing really, really well. If anybody survives this mission, we may keep Eris off of their performance. That is really not the can-do attitude that we like to see out of assistant regional managers at this corporation. Like, that's really... Get scared and then you pass your turn. Okay. Eris continues holding down the entire team. Fuck you, Ali. Once again, never mind. Okay. Ali attempted to sabotage the run, but Eris has stuck it out. Eris is too good.
And now the true test.
Moth Girl's giving up.
Or expire. Decimated.
Okay, Sauce God, you did one good thing with your life. Crit for 4. Okay, net 1. Net 1, I guess. Who cares?
More dust.
Alright, and that's it for Moth Girl.
More disappointment.
We are not running. Eris time beginning to crack under the pressure of carrying all of these worthless layabouts.
A momentary
Okay, 11 is quite good.
perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
I guess we're about to say goodbye to Sauce God as well.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
How many fights could be left? How many fights could be left?
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Hunger Games canon for Sauce God. Oh no! Oh no, not the spider. That's not great.
On the brink, facing the abyss.
Yeah, you know what? Hopeless is pretty real for this situation, Ali. You can heal yourself. Get off death's door. Okay, they're trying to kill Ali, which is honestly, like, Eris could clutch this out. Because Eris definitely has the damage to potentially kill one spider around. And so if Ali just tanks... Oh, never mind. Alright, Eris is fumbling too. But if Ali just tanks some hits for Eris, and Eris can do like 1 spider, 2 spider, 3 spider chop. Sauce God, thank you for the 1 bit. I apologize, boss. I didn't even die in combat. No Valhalla for me. Oh shit, Eris is trying to clutch it. Okay. Okay. Eris has stun resist, right? Nope, never mind. Absolute failure. Bounty Hunter's the class, but Eris time is not the person for solo clutches, it appears.
Another abomination.
2 HP. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh. Not the blight, dude.
Vistas of emptiness reveal themselves. Setback, but not the end of
And that is it for today's tryout missions. You are all reprehensible failures, and I am not sorry that any of you are dead. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheers. I had to join late. I saw people mentioning me. What did I do, LMAO? Nothing. I did a bit where I talked about how you wake up everybody on the team for late night karaoke. So that is going to be a fat wipe. I will agree that that was a very admirable attempt from Eris. If we get a resurrection event and we can bring Eris back in the future, we probably will, because they were putting up a good performance. They unfortunately could not defeat the 7v1 that every fight was, because they had to beat all 4 enemies and they had to beat their 3 teammates as well. Every single fight. And that is that's a lot to ask of one person. But that means we have 4 openings. There is a leper opening, a highwayman opening, a crusader opening, and I'm going to keep it a full stack I am not taking a goddamn occultist. I am not taking a goddamn occultist under any circumstances. Starry-eyed, the method to get named is begging. If you haven't been a character before, I will try to give you preference. Allie, not only did you die, you went out very embarrassingly. You died dragging another employee down with you. So first timers get preference. People who cheer or gift subs also get preference because money's cool. Riffle-doops, I hate occultists. I can get a leper to level 2 much more easily than I can make an occultist feel playable. No, Nutricider, you cannot. We will let Dirty have their attempt at being a leper, as they have not been named yet.
All one and the same.
How the fuck do you... Dirty? Then who else have we not named? I don't think Platypus has gone. So I'll give them the Highwayman.
Elusive, evasive, persistent. Righteous traits for a rogue.
Genzenator, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can I be a leper mauled? I will mark you down for the very next one, as we have already given this one away to Dirty. Black Hole Beauty, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub. And Starry-eyed, thank you for the 1,000 bits. For 1,000 bits, you can be the Crusader.
Arm anchored by holy purpose. A zealous warrior.
And Black Hole Beauty, welcome to the dog heaven. I don't know if I can fit your whole name in here. That is all we're going to get. I'll take Black Hole. I think you might be confused. I think you might be confused about the classes available to us. McReedrock, thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home with those Jeffrey dollars. I appreciate that generosity. So let me open up a Google sheet of stuff we still need to fulfill. We have, at minimum, we have Genzenator, who still needs a leper. We have Black Hole Beauty, who needs something. Which sounds to me... like we need to get some goddamn more wood chipper missions in. Riffle-dubes, I don't track people in classes, or I don't bother writing down people in classes if there is no financial incentive. For the begging, I go off vibes. I go off who I remember being fielded recently and who I don't remember getting a chance recently, rather than trying to keep like a 40 name long list of who gets to go next. All right, back out we go. We need to do a low-level mission. If any of these are worth getting, no. No. Mothgirl, you just died. Very embarrassingly, I might add. You just died in a very, very embarrassing and horrifically sad fashion. Alright, and then we gotta do Intario's custom card redeem. Your Justin is destructible, a 4-mana aura. Enchant equipment. Enchanted equipment has equipped creature gets -10/-10, and equip 2, and loses all other abilities. That's funny as fuck. I love this. No notes. Perfect. Perfection. Yeah, -10 out of -10. I would allow this to be played in my Commander games. If nothing else, goddamn Swiftfoot Boots deserves it. Hey boss, I found a group who plays Magic at work. Who should my first commander be to build a deck? For your very first commander, I would probably recommend something straightforward. There are no rules. There's nothing like, oh, it has to be this simple. One of... this nefarious little shithead is pretty fun and pretty easy. So I would do something like this. Can be very, very casual. You get to just tap out for big scary shit. You get to draw cards. Covers all the bases. And then let's also do Helios's random smasher pass. Pass. Turns out kidney stone, not a big interest of mine. Alright, let's get into our next wood chip. What about the other two smasher passes? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You sound crazy. Also, hard pass. Hard pass on sounding. Are they gonna get me? This is clearly just a hot woman with a mascot head on, which is a tough crossroads for me personally. Like, I think... No, Oliver, this is not the furry test. What this is if... What this card is testing is not furrydom. What this card is testing is if the most attractive person you knew put the gritty mask on, would you still do it? That's what this is testing. I don't care what your sexuality is. I don't care what your type is. That's what this test is if the hottest person you knew put the gritty helmet on, would you still hit? And for me, that's a yes. So I'm going to say smash. Let's get into the goddamn dungeon. So Bison Steve, you're coming on down. Platypus, you're coming on down. Nephres, you're coming on down. And Darebrained, you're gonna have to come on down. You've been waiting in the rafters for a really long time. So let's go ahead and run a prediction. Start prediction. Who survives tryouts? We have Darebrained. We have Nephris. We have Platypus. And we have Bison Steve. I think we have to go for short. Trying to do, because a tryout mission, we always do 0 provisions, and if we do 0 provisions on a medium mission, that is just forcibly failing them. That is like me spiting them, rather than it being a genuine tryout. So we will do a short wheeled mission. Starry-eyed, thank you for the $5 on Ko-Fi for that targeted smasher pass on Song of Blood. This is the same as the random, immediate smash. Immediate smash, I won't hear anything of it. If you think this is different from the previous smasher pass, you're just racist. Alright, cool. A torch, my lord? Nah. No. You got a free shovel and you got free medicinal herbs. And look at you, you're getting a battle when you still have light. Quit being greedy.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
That's okay. Surprise is good. Surprise is probably the only thing that could save that being the first fight. Also, Green Mage Rasire, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse. Alec Man, it's $5 on Ko-Fi for a targeted smasher pass. Honestly, terrible first attack. Okay, Darebrained tactically failing to deal with any single dog. Beautiful. Good job, Platypus. Better job, Bison Steve. Tremendous, tremendous. I like what I'm seeing. Hey guys, get those opening requests ready.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
This is some type of terrible, man. You know, when I said we were sending this team into the wood chipper, you guys could have at least gone like, no, we'll be fine. We could have at least put up a token resistance. Okay, Nephris has done something. Please shoot that dog, man. Good job.
Maintain the offensive.
Tremendous, Bison Steve. Love your contributions. Love what you're doing for the company. What's rabies do? Oh, but more damage. That's probably fine. So much. Dog, you're missing 4 health. Shut up. Bison Steve is 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Alec Man, thank you for the $5 on Ko-Fi for the targeted smasher pass. I will do that right after we kill this goddamn dog. Okay, I'm beginning to believe more in Nephris because at least Nephris keeps dealing damage. Like, at least Nephris is doing something every turn versus Steve, who's, oh yeah, sure. When you can get to wrap up the fight, now you want to look like a hero.
So too will resistance.
Alright, targeted smasher pass. Forge-born Oreads. Read the flavor text and think carefully. Yes, I can afford... What? I can afford aloe vera. Shut the fuck up. Immediate yes. Immediate yes. I'll do that through a layer of lead. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, not bad, not bad. Why is Platypus freaking out right now?
Herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent. Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Empty sack, it's dark as fuck. The highwayman is about to have a panic attack. Just another day at the Malltown Corporation. Don't worry, all valor. Bro, I'm gonna spend so much money on Final Fantasy cards. I'm gonna only do singles, but it's gonna be rough. I am presumably going to proxy so many Final Fantasy cards. You guys have no idea. It is looking bad for our intrepid heroes. They duck having to deal with a surprise round. Platypus has finally woken up and decided to do something with their life. I don't mind that. Can I... Inspiring tune, de-stress... Cut him up. Can you hit for anything other than 3 damage? I'll go to pre-release for the experience and to defend my title after clean sweeping my last Tarkir pre-release, but meh. See, I think like pre-release, if pre-release or if the set was not going to be so expensive because demand was going to be so high, I would love to draft this set a lot, but unfortunately what's going to happen... Okay, failure, say less. Anyway, unfortunately what's going to happen is because it is a premium set, it's going to be impossible to draft it a lot because entering drafts is going to cost a bazillion goddamn dollars. But I do think it's going to be very, very well done. I mean, DevCat, that's like betting on the sun being hot. Y'all realize this set's going to be the largest Magic set ever. I will put money that this will forever be the most sold set until this game dies. Because the CEO already said it's the most sold set ever. Just off of pre-orders. They said that the moment they fulfill pre-orders, this is already the most profitable... I don't know if he said most profitable or just highest selling. Because they do have the whole, like... IP licensing to worry about, but they at least said it is already the most sold Magic the Gathering set in history. Bro is betting on water being wet right now. Get out of here. Yeah, you fuck up that dead body. Wait, somebody died. I didn't even notice. Oh, it was Platypus. All right, good night. I think it'll be just as good as Lord of the Rings. I mean, good is obviously subjective. This will easily outsell Lord of the Rings. I think Lord of the Rings stands violently underestimate the number of Final Fantasy fans that are in the world. You motherfucking book readers, you're not ready. You're not ready, frankly. I'm not saying that makes the set better, but I think in terms of how much it's going to sell, Final Fantasy is going to dramatically clear Lord of the Rings. Tremendous, Bison. Good job. Yeah, like we have cat boys in this set. Lord of the Rings gave us tiny stinky people, and Final Fantasy was giving us cat boys. How is that a competition? Brother, there were also like some of the biggest movies in general from Lord of the Rings, not to mention the Chase Rarest One Ring. Cope. Overlap's different. We can talk about overall cultural importance of Lord of the Rings versus Final Fantasy, and then we start to get like a way more interesting contest in terms of how widely known is it, how narratively impressive is it, but in terms of the overlaps that are going to occur in terms of like Final Fantasy players wanting to check out a trading card game because it has Final Fantasy in it, or existing Magic players being like, oh my god, I played a ton of Final Fantasy growing up, or I still play a ton of Final Fantasy, I need this as my commander. Like, you are sleeping crazy on how big that overlap is compared to the overlap of Lord of the Rings, which was already huge, right? I'm not trying to say Lord of the Rings was small.
Packs full of steel and war.
But Final Fantasy crazy with it. Alright, Bison Steve is just about to die to the fucking sniffles. Alright, does Bison Steve make it through the door, or do they die to the farts trying to get through this grate? Do you think Marvel will break the record after that? I legitimately don't know, because Marvel is on a really big downswing in terms of like cultural capital right now. Also, Riffledoobs, thank you for the 50-bit cheer. Don't fuck with us Final Fantasy fans. We haven't played a game before or since Final Fantasy VII. So real. And Little Mix Doom, thank you for resubbing at Tier 1, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home for the second month in a row. Zenorum, thank you for the 100 biddies. Boss, have you seen the Xenos Yay Galvus Final Fantasy card? I've looked at it. I am waiting for appropriate comments so that I can do a roast of it. I think it's quite funny. I'm not going to pull it up on stream right now because it's a fresh spoiler. We do not have Antidote, Darebrand. We have Herbs, which can cleanse a debuff.
This is no place for a weak
Bro died to the shitties. Bro died to the shitties. Okay, also a failure.
Fear and frailty.
Choo Choo, maybe he should have earned food. If he wanted, listen, if Steve wanted to be fed food as he died of necrotizing fasciitis, maybe he should not have missed his first 3 attacks. Fucking think about that. Instead of thinking about yourself only.
Finding the stuff is only the first test.
Alright, will Darebrain make it? Nope. Nope. Everyone's cooked. Okay, we got some treasures though. We can recover Hopeless. Hopeless and Fearful. Oh! Oh! Alright, well, as I said, Hopeless and Fearful are stuff that we can deal with. It is abusive and masochistic that we do not allow. That's crazy. Nephris clutched up and Darebrain went to the donut store. Okay, you two make it. I will fulfill the prediction for multiple.
Put them to work.
Ooh, we get a free building upgrade. That's pretty sick. I think we do the guild one.
Some may fall.
Alright. Can we upgrade this anymore? No, we don't have busts. Alright, so we have 3 people we can bring in. Nicoroso, I would be happy to give you a chance. We have to fulfill Genzinator's request to be a leper. Genzinator, is there anybody currently on the screen that you would accept rather than being a leper? And then Black Hole Beauty, if you would like to be any of these classes, we can fulfill your gifted sub request off of this one. Lore Giver, I will consider you for the Hellion. But first, let's look at Zoria's custom card. Heart Pirate Alley, thank you for the 1,000-bit cheer. Please, sir, may I get a chance at redemption for such a generous contribution to the dog pile? Of course you can.
Elusive.
Black Hole Beauty is asked to be the Highwayman. Which of these classes would you like to be, Allie? Or if you don't know, I will pick the best of the remaining ones for you. Leave it up to you. Then you are going to be... How many Hellions do we have? We still have 2 Hellions. We have, let's see, 1 Vestal. I'm going to bring you in as the next Vestal.
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
Because we have a lack of backliners after our last couple backliners choked. Genzinator says, I do not know the classes. All I need is a pointy stick, which means there are new Hellion.
Rage and unrelenting savagery make for a
Silent
powerful
Motio, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Alright, and now we are once again full. So we're going to do this custom card review and then get back into the dungeon. We have Sarmenti the Jester, a 3-mana Izzet card. 1/3, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, scry 1, and target creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. For red, tap, and sack, they deal damage equal to twice his power to any target. This legitimately seems a little too weak, even for Stagecoach. If this was just raw partner, it would be like, who cares? You're giving red-blue to somebody that doesn't deserve it. But for Stagecoach, what I've seen of the other Stagecoach members, this guy really seems like more of a, I don't know, understudy. It might be more... This would get really wordy. But what might be good is scry 1 on any non-creature. On the first non-creature spell on each of your turns, put a 1/1 counter on. Or do the Crom text, which is like on your second non-creature spell, get a 1/1 counter. But I think doing counters rather than just +1/+1 ephemerally is going to be better when they are already so weak and their payoffs don't even draw you cards and just deal direct damage. Now back to the dungeons. Bria's a 3/3 base that does this for every creature for 1 extra mana. Yeah, that seems fair, but also too fair. Okay, we return to the dungeons. Do we have any trinkets worth buying? We have a good Highwayman trinket, and we do have a new Highwayman. I shall buy the Highwayman trinket and the Hellion trinket. So this is a melee trinket. Oh, we can't... You can't double them up? Loser shit. Loser shit, bro. So we have a bunch of bleed now. Let's grab Genzinator. Well, this isn't going to matter. The torch is going to be below 5. Then Ali. You have a heal at least. My lord, I feel rather down. Is there a way to restore hope for one such as myself? If you're talking about in-game, hurry up and fucking wait. If you're talking about out of game, it has never failed me to do some burpees and call myself a perky little princess. Do this fully unironically. You do not have to admit that you're doing it. You can even make fun of me in chat for admitting that I do it. But I promise you, if you do some type of dynamic physical activity for like 60 seconds, and then you look yourself in the mirror and say, I am a perky princess, you will feel better. Or you will burst into tears, and it will be a good cry. Both are worthwhile. Alright, we'll do another short one. We have a healer this time. Oh, we gotta put... we gotta put Darebrained and Nephros into therapy. Mauled, how many bits to run it back for me on the next availability? We haven't really, like... We haven't been setting hard bars for it. Typically, we've let people for like anywhere between $1 and $5 jump the queue, and it's typically been like between 5 and 10 to demand that you are a specific class. Like for Riffle dupes, I think we made them pay more because they wanted to be an antiquarian, and then they wanted to be an antiquarian on a specific mission. So it is a little bit vibes based, but it's mostly like between $1 and $10, scaling off of how annoying your request is. So we'll put Starry Night in the front. We can try out Dirty as well as the other tank. And then Black Hole can be the Highwayman, and Ali can be the healer. We are not fighting the Sodden crew. We are doing a short mission to see if you idiots can survive. Girthy Poro, maybe you shouldn't have gotten diseased in the first place.
I knew all these paths once. Now they're as twisted as my own ambitions.
And then after this dungeon run, there's no... Okay. I thought it was just these 4 rooms. I was like, you lucky motherfuckers. After this dungeon run, we're going to do a poll on the next era of collab streams. Elikman, unless stated otherwise, cards exiled from your library are exiled face up. So we have Starry, we have Ali, who's our... It's not Genzinator. We have Black Hole. Who's our leper? Dirty. Damn, that's crazy. Damn, that really is crazy about you all.
Malformed
I think even if we're going to backtrack, we should still go to this room because we know there isn't a fight in it. Absolutely insane. Slow draw.
Without tools,
Truly impressive.
must rely on
Truly, truly impressive.
indefatigable purpose.
We have gone through 2 rooms. It is now pitch black. Pending Platypus, thank you for the 300-bit cheer to jump that queue. We have been set upon by dogs, but they have not surprised us. This is critical. This is very important. I will dazzle this man. Good job, Allie. Don't miss. So I'm gonna get my notes out here. I'm just gonna jot down for you, Dirty. I'm just gonna jot down, cannot follow basic instructions. That good with you? That's good with me. Okay, 15. 15. Not bad at all. I like how when the leper gets hit, they just...
Exposed to a killing blow. Another abomination cleansed from our lands. Back to
All right.
it.
Successful fight. We're gonna have to do another. Oh no, a spider's here. Don't freak out, guys.
Death waits
Don't freak out, everybody.
slightest lapse
It's
in
just a spider.
concentration.
The healer is stunned. They're about to have an anxiety attack. It's probably fine. Insane. Insane.
Frustration.
Immediate failure.
Worry. More destructive than 100 cannons.
Tremendously weak mental. Taking it out on other team members. Why would I be using Intimidate, Marcy? It doesn't deal damage. You sound crazy. Okay, Dirty clutches, actually.
Dirty in the eye of the storm.
There may be hope for Dirty. A 30 damage crit from Starry. Holy fuck. Let's heal the person who is worth something. Is Black Hole gonna take their turn? Damn.
Another one falls.
Very solid. Very solid. Sorry I talked shit, Black Hole.
Executed with impunity.
You get the anti-venom. Riffle-Dubes, thank you for the 50 bits. Honestly, if you get crit by a maggot, I think it might just be time to take a long dive off a short bridge.
The darkness holds much worse than mere trickery and boogeymen.
It's okay, guys. How many more of these rooms could have battles in them? Fuck.
Ancient
He's fine. Black Hole's fine. They're gonna clutch. They're gonna clutch. Okay.
blood.
Paranoid is at least survivable if they continue to perform well.
Set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Exact. There's probably just. I don't know about the current. I don't know about the current positioning. Abot913, thank you for the Twitch follow. And Allie, I don't know if we have to worry about your... I don't know if we have to worry about your personality modifier being survivable when the men with guns might not be. 4 solid damage. No way! No way! Dirty clutched the stress check only for Black Hole to say, nah, how about you stay back there where you can't hit shit, dumbass? Pass your turn. Abot913, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. How about you get in the back? How about you get back there? Okay, solid, Starry. Solid. You move then, Black Hole. Alright, we got Allie clutching out at least one death's door. Dirty is almost back to a position where they can do something. Quite good, quite good. Getting shanked for talking shit, as is correct. God damn. We're gonna prioritize Dirty's life for no reason in particular. Allie continue. Allie's clutching all the death saving throws and then just talking mad shit after.
Hold fast or expire.
Oh right, Dirty doesn't have to clutch this. Embarrassing. That's how you do it. Aitsu, thank you for the follow and the tier 1 Twitch sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. Yeah, Eris, you got fucking punked. You were the best member of the team, but the 3 people with you were choking so hard that you could not do it. Amazing. Amazing. Allie's just refusing to die. Allie's like, I have to stay alive so that I can be mean to my teammates. I must survive. I must survive the bullets so that I can continue to be abusive to my partners. Alright. Alright, hopeless.
There can be no hope in this hell.
We're gonna continue trying to prioritize Dirty's life for no reason in particular. Dope.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Now I'm trying to decide what to do. This is the first time I've had an abusive party member where I respect the hustle. That was like 6 death saves in a row. Allie tanked 6 bullets to the chest just so that she could stand up and continue hating. That is 50 Cent behavior. So I'm thinking we might retreat, and I'm trying to think of who we save. Let me eat my noodle and consider this. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave. We're going to take our money.
Regroup. Reassemble. Evil is timeless, after all.
To Starry Night. To Starry Night. I will bestow a place on the team for multiple double-digit crit swings. That was pretty tight. For Dirty, I will bestow a place on the team for clutching a virtue. To Heart Pirate Alley, I will bestow a place on the team for standing on old school rap beef. That was some East Coast, West Coast behavior. Despite the fact that you are an abusive, choking piece of shit, you are a real hater and we need that energy. Black Hole, we're throwing you into the pit.
Curiosity, interest, and obsession. Mile markers on my road to damnation.
Give me your things back.
Slumped shoulders, wild eyes, and a stumbling gait. This one is no more good to us.
And then we have Platypus wants to be back in. We already have 2 antiquarians.
Tortured.
I will allow you to come back in as an abomination, as I believe that is the best of the available classes we have open. Is Lore, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Dibs on a bomb. Unfortunately, Lore, you were competing with Platypus's 300-bit cheer for Nexties. So we can put you down for the next abomination after that. Nightshade, yes, there is a queue for getting named. It is basically just ask to get named in chat, but we are bottlenecked by the number of roster slots, and then I will allow people to skip the queue by paying money. All right, Allie, you are gonna go fucking penance about it. Hopefully stop being rude to everybody. Then we have a custom card to do, a random smasher pass to do. But first, we're gonna do a little poll about what we should be trying to do for Total Drama Tuesdays in the future. Based on statistics, here I'll pull up a Google slide for this so that we can keep track of all the thoughts that are about to hit you. So right now, the collabs that we have done are, we have worked with Elk Boy, we have worked with Comedian, and we have attempted to collab with Pleasant Kenobi. I'm trying to think if we've done any other serious ones. We haven't paid out the points prediction yet. Oh, we have to hit an ad break anyway. So I will ad break while we talk about this, and then the poll should be available by the time we're out of the ad break. I heard of this really cool MTG creator named Z Main Character. Have you heard of them? Part of what is spawning this discussion, Dark, is Z and I were talking about what type of collab we should do together on stream. So anyway, for each of these, so collaborating with Elk, those have always done well. Elk and I have a pretty good rapport, and Elk is always tremendously easy to schedule with because we're both just computer gremlins. Comedian, We've only done it the once. This is the best performing collab ever, both in the stream itself and the YouTube video that got cut out of that stream. The CEDH clenchability tier list video we did is the best joint production I've ever done with anybody. Yeah, he's a CEDH guy. So we're definitely going to be running that back and doing more stuff with Comedian. We're still trying to set stuff up with Pleasant Kenobi. Nothing has gone through with Pleasant Kenobi yet, because every time we both keep attempting to schedule stuff with each other, and then we just keep fucking it up. But I like him. I think we have a pretty good rapport. We just haven't collaborated yet. But the broad picture is collaborations good. People seem to like every collaborative thing I've done, and I want to keep doing more of those. But there are a couple different... Oh, and very importantly, I think I now have the pull to try to convince larger people to do stream collabs with me, because now I can begin saying, like, yeah, I will bring in 200 to 300 people on my end. You bring in your audience. So whether or not they have a big Twitch following already, like Elk also has a sizable Twitch following. Ian doesn't, but Ian has a sizable following on like YouTube and Twitter. And so I can either reach out now to other big Twitch creators, or I can reach out now to other big video creators who aren't big on Twitch and try to convince them to come on, or just be like, this should make enough money that I can pay you this appearance fee just to come stream with me. That's what I did with Ian. Like with Elk, we've done a revenue split of the videos that got cut from the stuff we streamed together. With Ian, I was like, I have no idea how CEDH stuff is going to do. I will pay you this many dollars to come be on my stream for this long, and I'm going to cut stuff from it. So the streams are doing well enough that I can just offer to pay people. So let me copy paste this slide and do the potentials. So these are people sourced from chat. Spice 8 Rack, Crim, Def Cat sang, Zach the Bold, Gorilla at least jokingly mentioned Magic the Noah. So Commander at home, I'm gonna toss out as an example of too big. The people that we want these collaborations to be with, they have to be people where I could either conceivably pay there's no hard criteria, but if you want a realistic chance of me taking it seriously, it has to be somebody who I could pay the appearance fee for, the appearance fee being like 2 hours of your time on this stream, or they would just want the exposure so much that they would take a revenue split deal. Ben Wheeler, that Mill guy. Right, then there's other big ones like CGB. Oh, same tier of people that they've had on their show. Yeah, I mean, see, that seems possible. And then another important thing to consider is we need to have something viable to talk about. Like Elk and I are just both yappers, which is why we have defaulted to doing just like set review stuff. So I could do a like rotating carousel of set reviews where I get other big creators' opinions on sets as they release, and we just kind of vamp together. Like, I could try to do like, hey, CGB, come do a set review with me, or anybody from the list. Like, try to get Zach the Bold to do it, try to get Krim to do it, and then all of the set reviews just become the carousel home for, let's figure out what my rapport is like with these other creators. The ones I am most attracted to right now are ones with people like Comedian, where they have a very specific skill set that I can try to be funny tangentially to. But rather than it just being like a general MTG thing, it being like, here is your area of specific expertise. I am going to pseudo interview you and pseudo joke with you while we talk about your area of expertise. And so, yeah, Dark, I've done 2 Magic the Noah collabs. We could do Rebel, we could do you, Defcat, we could do Playing with Power, but I think a lot of these just become like, banking on rapport. So, because I don't want this just to be like, hey, does this person have X followers? Now that's the collab. No, we haven't, Alec. So let's do a first poll. Let's do a first poll to decide the archetypal type of thing we're doing. What region of collab do y'all want? So the first one I'm going to say is make comp Magic funny. That is going to encompass Comedian, Nile Joan River, and it would probably encompass somebody like Ben Wheeler as well for stuff like Canlander. But that is going to be the flavor of collaboration where we are looking at a like try-hard format and trying to do some type of presentation that makes it funny and accessible. That's what Ian and I tried to do. It's what I'm going to try to do again with Ian. And if that is the type of collab that wins, I will try to set something up with one of these people to make another comp format feel cool. Glass Geo, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. And then the next one I'm going to call rapport farming. These are going to be people like Spice or Magic the Noah or Krim, where these are just like, you guys think the vibes would be good. And then I think the last one here, let me elaborate on. I'm also going to title that set reviews because I think that is the bulk of what that content will be. I think that stuff is like, that stuff is limited to, we are going to look at a Magic set and talk about this Magic set and attempt to have funny interactions while we talk about this. And then I think the last category is going to be like, talk show. Talk show, grab big names. This is going to be the attempt of like, what, to find some event where I get like the professor on Twitch. Either it's like roasting the personality or coming up with some type of one-off event for them. But that would be trying to work with people like Prof, trying to work with people like Voxy, like CGB, seeing if the Commander at Home people would come on for a stream, seeing if like Magic the Noah, Zach the Bold, like people where the main draw is, oh, hey, I've heard that name. That is going to be the third category. We're not going to allow additional votes. I'm going to allow 3 minutes. I'm starting that poll now. So that is going to be the region of Collab. We can either make competitive Magic funny with people like Comedian, Nile Joan River, Ben Wheeler. We can attempt to just get good vibes out of other generically funny people. And people like Nile Joan River can fit into that as well. It would just be a different intention than having them on for competitive Magic. Or we can go for spectacle of, oh my god. And I don't think he would agree to this, so the idea would have to be different. But the talk showy thing would be like, oh my god, Prof is going to be on Mald's stream talking about butts. Those are the types of... Poro, I don't think you need to know a lot about the people to know, to have an opinion on the flavor of thing. Like, if you want to hear more about competitive Magic in a way that's interesting... If you want to know more about competitive Magic in a way that's interesting, it can be make comp Magic funny, even if I'll handle who the right person for it is. If you want to just have me vamp with another person, I'll handle who the right people are. Or if you want, like, I want one-off spectacles. Like, I think the way to interpret the last one is these videos would be boutique collaborations that were like literally just something that would interest this other person. Pointedly not voting because I fuck with rapport farming, competitive stuff, and even talk show about equally. Okay, that is good and fair. Thank you for letting me know, Zoria. Noda, thank you for the Prime sub for the second month in a row, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. A stream comparing views with the Prof would be neat. Would that be neat or would that be sad for me? Would that be neat or would that just be me crying for a very long time? Post Malone crossover win. I think that is genuinely not out of the question for the big names type of stuff. I think I'm getting to the point where it would not be ridiculous for me to begin asking these people what would it take. Post Malone has been on smaller productions than mine. So yeah, like Aaron, you want Aaron Hansen? I cannot promise a goddamn thing, but this would be like, I talked to Ife Nwidwe from not Game Changers. He's Actually. He's the host of Actually now. Mald, would you come on my stream if I was streaming Commander? Fuck no. As I have, and Duke, that is nothing against you. As I have stated previously, the only situations in which I go on Commander streams is personal favors or for a meaningful amount of money being donated to charity. I know you weren't, Duke, and you were doing it for a bit, but I will always take this opportunity to reinstate my hatred of live streaming Commander. There is genuinely no world in which the Twitch collab that I do with anybody is me having them come play Magic with me. I think that would be the biggest waste of time I could possibly do. Okay, so rapport farming won by a very, very decided margin. So then the question becomes, who do we who do we attempt to rapport farm with first? We've successfully rapport farmed with elk many times, and we will continue to in the future. We are definitely running it back with Ian. We are definitely doing stuff with Z. So I'm going to leave them out of this next round of voting, because in my mind they are locked in. We are absolutely doing that. I do not need the will of the people to influence me including them in the next thing. Okay. Can I not do... So I'm going to throw out a list of like... This is in no way, shape, or form an exhaustive list of all the people I think it might work well to rapport farm with, but I'm going to throw out 5 names that I think people would enjoy, and we will see which names people enjoy the most. So for the first round of who do we, and this is again, reach out to. I have no guarantee that these people are going to agree. I have no guarantee that I will be able to schedule it in a like meaningful period of time. But this is going to be Crim, Spice, Nile, Zach the Bold, and Amy the Amazonian. The only rapport I have with Amy the Amazonian is that we had one interaction on Blue Sky or Twitter where they were like, we should totally do a Commander Smasher Pass event at a MagicCon. Does Magic the Noah even do MTG content anymore? I thought it was like a PowerPoint channel now. I mean, it is, but it's also, I don't think it would be very difficult for me to get him to spend like 90 minutes talking about Magic. It doesn't have to, you know, he doesn't have to record and edit a video. He just has to yap. I think Amy could very possibly be a good fit. I mean, like, the thing that makes it difficult for me to have any sort of confidence about how this is going to shake out is the only people on this list that I have had real life conversations with are Spice and Nile. I have interacted in passing with Crim, and he seems very cool. I have interacted in passing with Amy. She seems cool. I have seen Zach's work on Instagram and YouTube, and it seems quite good. But I've had no meaningful interactions with them, so I have no idea what our rapport would be like. I know I could have good rapport with Spicy. I know I could have good rapport with Nile. Nile Joan Rivers is a... I'm trying to think of like what descriptors would qualify them as a creator. They are more of a like standard grinder than anything. Yeah, she works for Tolarian Community College now, and she is a very good Magic player, has a lot of very good thoughts about MTG design. So she's very smart. She is very witty. And so that would kind of lean into a comedian style collab where I would probably take it in the direction of let's talk about standard. And after taking it in the direction of let's talk about standard, it would be mostly based on rapport after that. All right, so the top 3. Round 1 voting. Spice, Crim, Amy. I'm going to do another round of voting because, again, this is not exhaustive. Ben Wheeler. Oh, hell yeah, June. Congratulations on your first win. And then... Dylan and Cam. And who are other personalities that I think would be good? Austin, we're just voting on a Twitch poll. Oh yeah, we could try to bring on like Joey Schultz. Also, Jensenator, thank you for the $2 super chat. Prof winning for once. I feel like it's a lot more than for once, but I appreciate you, bestie. Oh yeah, let's do... This would be a fucking Halo reach, but I will put Iffy in the list. Who is Jarvis Johnson? He seems outside of my budget range. I'm going to be testing out my Sergeant John Benton deck today that you inspired me to make. I call it Fun for Me, but Not for Thee. That's reasonable. That's a good name. It would be a reach, but I don't think it's impossible. I'm not going to put a name. I'm not going to put a name on the list if I think it is... If I think that person would be like, oh, no way am I doing this dumb shit. It's a podcast commentator type of guy that talks about magic a lot. Ooh, maybe. I think the Nikachu I'm not sure about, because the only thing I've seen of him is like plays Merfolk, but I've seen a ton of his VODs get recommended to me, and I think he does a ton of like AI generated MTG card review streams, and I think we at minimum creative differences. Quips and Guac, potentially. There's...
One of the many...
I think Quips and Guac and I would either get along famously well or famously terrible, because all of the... I have not watched any of these videos, but all of the decks that they describe in their titles are decks that I think are legitimately bad for the game and I dislike. So I have a different opinion of them. I think highly of them as a creator, and I kind of doubt we would actually get along. Like, I think we would get along as people, and I doubt we would get along or have a good rapport talking about magic, because all of the things I see them trying to do on their page make me be like, oh, you shouldn't do that, actually. Why? This is like a bad thing that you shouldn't want. What's your opinion on Aya MTG? I have no idea who that is, so I don't have an opinion on them. I like this commitment straight away. I like the fact that they spun up a fake newsroom to talk about Tarkir Dragonstorm for 8 hours. That's real as hell. What do you think of doing the outside Magic content like Simo for Yu-Gi-Oh, Rarin for Hearthstone, etc.? I was thinking about it. I don't know if I'm I don't know if I'm big enough to do that successfully yet, but it is something I'm considering. We could do like Ristic studies. I think based on the next round of voting, I do like Ristic studies might be. Oh my, okay, listen. We don't have to vote on Brennan Lee Mulligan, because if I could spend whatever amount of money I could spend to still pay rent and get Brennan Lee Mulligan onto some collab is happening. We don't have to worry about voting on that one. Batty would be good. I know Batty is a real dipshit stinker. Yeah, I mean, anybody from Dropout is kind of like a softball, I feel like, because they're all improv comedians. They all make their bag being funny and having good rapport with anybody they fucking walk up to. So those are also, I would want that, and I don't feel like we have to vote on that. Right? Like, if Allie Beardsley came on to this stream to do something with me, I would definitely be struggling because I'm starstruck, but I would also have total faith that stream's going to go well. I don't have to, there's no worry about like, oh, are we going to gel together? What are we going to do to have a good time? Like 100% faith that any Dropout cast member could treat it with like 1/10 the effort they treat any of the Dropout shows, and something good and entertaining would come out of it. Alec, man, thank you for the 2 gifted tier 1 subs, my friend. I'm guessing this is for a custom card. I have no idea if Brennan Lee Mulligan plays Magic. So yeah, like Ristic studies is one of the things where great artist, legitimate concern if our energies would match, because they are very articulate, very well spoken, and very calm. And I'm not. And so I feel like the closest thing that I could do to something compelling with Ristic studies is I would have to craft an interview style setup, and then I would have to slowly but surely drive them insane with progressively crazier and crazier questions that I asked in a very monotone manner. Like, that's how I would have to do it. Yes, very between two ferns. GM Moley, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. So I could try to do something like that, but honestly, in my mind, that is more spectacle coded. Austin McCartney, thank you for the $10 super chat on YouTube, my friend. Welcome to Dog Heaven. Shillin for Aya MTG, great content. Okay, we'll mentally plop them into the list as well. Why are we looking at Opt? There was a custom card that Whitebread sent in that made Opt crazy good. And so I was pulling it up earlier in the stream to be like, we can't make Opt this strong. Las Pachules, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Voxy for sure. I feel like that also goes in the that goes in the like grab big names pile. I'm rooting for Zach the Bold. I love that guy and have been seeing him do MTG stuff recently. Yeah, Zach. Weirdly, I think Zach the Bold would feel the most awkward to reach out to. Mainly because, like, in the weird social hierarchy that gets established in streamer world and stuff like that, or in content creator world, it's ironically less intimidating to reach out to somebody that is much bigger than me, because then if they say no, it's like, oh well, yeah, they're really, really big, they're very, very busy, and I'm sure Zach the Bold is very, very busy, but we're like same zip code of size. And so that feels a lot more like being at prom and asking your date to dance, and they're like, you actually kind of smell bad. It's not even that there's a rivalry, it's just that, like, asking... Oh, I mean, listen, respect to 33 Elk, he's doing great things. We will be in the same zip code at some point because I have faith in their development as a creator. But let's talk, you know. Asking a near peer and getting a no feels worse than somebody larger. Yeah, Platypus, I think that's a good way to put it. Does 3-3 use they, them pronouns? Not to my knowledge, but I can just double check that on Discord. He, they. Okay, so if I can think of, if I could think of something for Zach the Bold, I will try and do it, but this is really... this is really like... what we have voted for here is do set reviews with other people I find funny. And so I have faith in Zach the Bold's ability to be quite entertaining in some type of long form content. I do not think my inclination would be to have Zach the Bold on to do a full set review of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Maybe they want to do something like that. I have no idea what they into. But I feel like a lot of those types of names, it would have to be those types of, this is a spectacle event. This is a spectacle crossover event with this other person, and I have designed this unique stream premise to give us a thing to talk about or do together, versus like Spice or even Ristic Study or anybody who is like already into and talking about Magic a lot. That's very, very easy to just go like, okay, we sit down and we talk about the set together. Like that's what Z and I can do. That's what Elk and I have done many times. That's what I could do with Probably like Crim as well. Alright, thank you all for your input on that. We have a ton of custom cards to get to. We can vamp about that more a little bit later. For now, we have custom cards to get to. Alright, we are going to start with Gorilla's card. Well, Alec Man did one too. Alec Man, please get that up in the Discord when you have the opportunity. Gorilla has sent in, stop moving around. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player cast or copied 6 or more spells last turn, that player loses the game. You dumbass, I've been waiting here wondering what kind of finishing move you were going to do, you know? This cooks. As a Spellslinger player, this cooks. If you take a Storm turn and you don't have the balls to just concede the game when it fails, this deserves to get flashed in for free. Immediate yes. Immediate yes. Chef's kiss. Alright, then we have Ollie's card. Curious Enderman, a 2/1 with phasing. When Curious Enderman phases in, gain control of target random permanent. At the beginning of your end step, a player chosen at random gains control of that permanent. Whenever Curious Enderman becomes the target of a spell or ability, it phases out. No. This is everything that is wrong with every Norrin deck in one card. You have tried to trick us with how cute the art is, and it appears you have gotten at least one person in chat. You have not tricked me. This is literally just LOL so random Tumblr blogger. We do not need this. It's just a cute Enderman that pops around and moves things. So true. It would legitimately be less offensive if it was targeted. Because what this reads to me is 2 mana. We are now playing Mario Party instead of Commander. The fact that it should have red on the color identity is beside the point. We're not that deep into... We haven't taken that many design classes before fucking up. Yeah, it's just 2 mana. This game is not serious anymore, which is sometimes appropriate. But if you want games like that, we already have an overabundance of tools that are totally reasonable for doing games like that. If you remove the bottom text, does that make it better? Slightly. However, I think this is like... This is... You have bad dreams. Like the consequence you want of the card existing is a bad thing. And you making it less able to do that thing does reduce the severity. However, having to randomize every permanent on the board, giving away control of permanents, which is going to create a very, very chaotic game state and is going to create highly variable degrees of power and escalation between your opponents, like that is undesirable. That is not a thing I typically would want cards to do. Especially not so early into the game. I'm a Thieves Auction player, so maybe I'm the problem. Yes, you are. You want to play, like, I think you just want to play Mario Party instead of Magic. And Thieves Auction is how you take it out on people. But there is a reason that these types of effects typically cost a fair amount more. Like, you're playing baby Confusion in the ranks, and you have tricked yourself into thinking that because you are switching around fewer permanents, it is worth being less mana. This is 1 mana for the effect, and it's 4 mana for the dipshit tax. That's what you're paying for. This man is missing the 4 mana dipshit tax. You make this 6 mana, I will let you have it. Like, I think my real life experience every real life experience I have had with this game, Thieves Auction is a 7 mana card which reads, "The game is a draw." I have had multiple people at multiple different playgroups attempt to resolve this card. It has, no matter how good of a mood we were in, no matter how competitive the people we were playing with were, every single time this card has been cast, it just reads, "We all scoop because we have better things to do than play Magic like this." And this is just that same thing for 2 mana. And, like, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. We shouldn't try to make cards help that. All right. Alec man's card, Promath, Diviner for Hire. At 4 mana, 2/3, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. Whenever another non-token creature you control enters Scry 1, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may exile cards from the top of your library until you exile 2 non-land cards. If their total mana value is 4 or less, you may add them to your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. This is pretty good. I think this is near abominably fair. If you were in, like, Jeskai Prowess, it gives you decent hand advantage. It gives you something to build around that I have not seen before. And I do like that. I'm legitimately questioning whether you could let this card scry 1 on tokens. I think on tokens, it would be... I think it would get too crazy with, like, Monastery Mentor. I believe on non-token creature scry 2, I think that's okay. I think you can give it scry 2 for non-tokens entering, as long as we keep it to non-tokens. Hello, Quips and Guac. Plane chase, but Minecraft biomes. That would be cute. That would be a cute thing. Well, I think, Choo-Choo, another interesting thing this could lock you into is this can read. If you want it to read this, you can go, okay, I'm not doing prowess. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I exile some stuff, and I get a +1/+1 counter on each creature. Which is also a totally reasonable way to build Jeskai. So you can either go low to the ground, or you can just, like, guarantee that you bust every single turn and use it for board development. All right, I have to use the bathroom, so we're gonna go do a manual ad break while we use the bathroom, and then we're getting back into the dungeons. Oh, Mixed Doom, you redeemed a custom card as well. My bad. One second. Let me go back and find that custom card. We have Spamton, the Salesman, 4 mana, 2/4. Each opponent plays with the top card of their library revealed. During each player's turn, that player may cast cards from the top of your opponent's libraries and may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast spells this way. Whenever a spell is played this way, you and that spell's owner create a junk token. Sacrifice a junk, each player mills a card. The design of this card itself is semi-interesting. I do not believe... Oh, fuck. Hold on. Okay. We should have fixed any audio issues there. We're going to take this card from the top without the audio whine. Spamton the Salesman, 4 mana Dimir, 2/4. Each player plays with the top of their library revealed. During each player's turn, they can cast from the top of your opponent's library and can color fix their mana to cast spells. Whenever a spell is played this way, you and that spell's owner create a junk token. Sack a junk to make everybody mill one. So, the design itself, I do not think is broken. I am this close to calling the cops on you for yet another attempt to make Lantern Control work in Commander. Lantern Control should not exist in Commander. And we should, in fact, take away the tools from people who are trying to make Lantern Control work in Commander. You are bad people. It is a bad impulse. So, like, if Wizards thought Lantern Control deserved to exist in Commander, we would have it. So minor things. Minor things about this card. Junk, I do not believe is a blue or black mechanic. Junk is pretty cleanly a red mechanic, and so if you wanted this to be Dimir, it would probably need to be clues. And then the commander gets quite strong because there are so many clue synergies in blue. And in black too. But then it can become like more playable as a clue commander, and I might let you try to work with this, but the moment you tried to make this Lantern control, jail forever. Jail forever. Alright, next we have DJ Poros. Hesper of All Realms, a 2-mana 2/1. On ETB, make a legendary 1/1 artifact creature token with flying and surveil 1 on upkeep. Whenever you play a card from your graveyard or from exile, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Immediate doubt. Immediate doubt that Izzet can be trusted with this type of 2-mana storm engine. I mean, a 1/1 Thopter, yeah, that does trouble me. The first half of this card, very, very unassuming, non-threatening. Oh, it's a 1/1. Oh, you get to surveil 1. This is basically search for Azcanta. Search for Azcanta on a thing that can also chump block without further upside. But then the rest of this card is, hey, when I take my storm turn, it's definitely never ending. Like everything I cast from exile just replaces itself, becomes... This is now my entire storm turn. So I think the first half can definitely stay at 2 mana. Oh yeah, and from graveyard. This little motherfucker is smuggling an Underworld Breach in her cheeks. Yeah, fuck that. Immediate no, Poro. Alright, let's force some motherfuckers to dive into the dungeon. What do we have available to us? I don't give a fuck about Crusader orders. Ooh. Ooh. We could go try to kill a wizened hag and get an antiquarian something. We could... Oh, do we want to do... Do we send our first group into the darkest dungeon? We have a team that is capable of entering the darkest dungeon. We have Vizier, we have Moose, we have Duke and Scamp, and we have Girthy Poro. Girthy Poro has the spotted fever, but it's really not that bad. So let's pay out the prediction. Who lived? I think almost everybody lived. I think only Black Hole didn't make it, so that's multiple. So we are going to do an A-team mission. And that A-team mission is going to be the first entry point into the darkest dungeon. Oh, that's fucked. If we abandoned... Okay, hold on. We're buying everybody. Ah, fuck. Okay. So what we have to do first, we have to do a shitter mission first with an antiquarian to try to make a bunch of money so that we can upgrade our A team enough to handle this quest. Yeah, we're gonna do a... Oh, we can double ante? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna send Riffle and Atlas out. And I just need... I would like $10,000. We're not changing the prediction. We're just not gonna run a prediction on this mission, and we'll pay out the prediction for the A-team mission. We are going to be quite safe and just get a bunch of money and then get out. Genie advice, boss, please. I have bone spurs. Spare me. Well, just like the only other person I know with bone spurs, you deserve to die.
They breed quickly down there in the dark, but perhaps we can slay them even faster.
Okay, good money, good money.
The flow of otherworldly corruption.
What was this? Oh, fuck, it was a damage buff. God damn it.
The light, the promise of safety.
Okay, good. And we got a surprise off. I'm just gonna fucking
The blood.
dodge buff the shit out of everybody, and then... God damn it, Siren. Siren is the fucking Hellion I keep forgetting to upgrade the weapon of. +8 dodge. And still can't dodge shit. Okay, maybe Siren just fucking dies on the easy money getting mission. Maybe we will be getting an opening. Fucking, oh my god. MLP, that is, no, Islor is. Speaking of which, Islor, thank you for the 50-bit cheer. Remember, boss, it's Siren's fault that his weapon's not upgraded, not yours. Indeed.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Do you have any healing on this team? We have extremely minor healing on one of the antiquarians. I can probably switch to it on the other antiquarian, but honestly, if Siren dies, they deserve to be dead. If Siren cannot live through fucking surprising a group of enemies that they outnumbered, they not only deserve to die, we are going to ban them from being put into a team comp for a while.
Foolish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay. Another group of 3. Let's see how we do. Okay, we had 1 antiquarian lose half their health. Very good. I'm about to fire both of these frontliners. I am like, do something. See, I was in the middle of saying do something good, and I think Siren heard me and knew that if they failed before I got the sentence out, it would not count as disobeying a direct order. I think that was their plan there. If they simply fucked up before I asked them specifically not to fuck up, then they couldn't be in trouble. I think the antiquarians are doing more damage than my fucking beefy frontliners are.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Tuscan, unfortunately, the only performance improvement plan we offer at this company is throwing you off a bridge. You have to admire that can't do attitude, boss. I don't think I do. So Pectus, are you admitting that you would not be able to succeed in difficult conditions?
Teetering on the brink.
Are you admitting that when you have to deal with something that you're not predisposed to succeed in, you would just fail?
A death by inches.
Siren's already about to fucking die again. At least Cyberite has done fucking something.
Continue the onslaught.
Good
Destroy
God.
all. As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal
That's looking like 4 openings. That's looking like a young 4 openings on the team right now. Good.
no
Good.
chance for egress. Will this be
Excellent.
massacre?
Excellent.
This skirmish may be lost, but the battle may yet be won. You will endure this loss and learn from it. I remember days when the sun shone and laughter could be heard from the tavern.
Give me your fucking trinkets. You absolute fuck up.
Slumped shoulders, wild eyes, and a
I am
stumbling
so
gait.
glad I didn't spend any money on you. You absolute fucking embarrassment. Holy shit. Holy shit. Believe Islor was asking for the abomination. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Boss, I'll goon faithfully through clutch and through wipe. I'll fight well and die if need be. Alright, so Laura's gonna get to be an abomination.
Reclusive. This man is more dangerous than he seems.
And then Lore Giver can be our next abomination. I need you all to know that I hate abominations. And I will sacrifice you all instantly. How does one get in queue for the internship? Just talking in chat. If you cheer bits, I will bump you in line, but just talking. Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 50-bit cheer. I was kind of hitting those dodges, though, NGL. I will agree with that. We're going to end the stream here and go raid out. That was honestly such a disgusting performance that I think you would give the A-team a contact failure. I think they will do worse by sheer virtue of having to try to do their business after watching Siren and Cyberite perform so abominably bad. I have refunded the points for that vote. We will be coming back tomorrow with the deck roasting stream, and depending on if we have time after that deck roasting stream, we will also be doing the A-Team Darkest Dungeon mission there. Until then, we're going to go raid. And we are going to raid. Beeps is live doing Hole Inspector. Hit them with the Indestructible Justin raid command. And thank you all for coming today. Thank you for participating in the content polls, for the bits, for the follows, for the subs. I appreciate every last one of you. I will see you tomorrow at noon Pacific. Thank you all very much. And please remember to stay toxic.